Never no excuse of being weak. We're talking about people that talk tough and huff and puff and all that. But when it comes down to the reality, when the realness get in front of you, you cower. You know what I mean? You cower. These masked racists parading through Washington D.C., riding trains and the subways and stuff, in unity, in numbers. See, it's easy to be tough then because your face is covered. The coward. That's what cowards do. It's easy to be tough, when you're surrounding a young black child who's sitting just riding the subway trying to be on her merry way to whatever activities or whatever business that she needed to attend to. It's not tough. It's not impressive. It's weak. And all you're doing is showing that your side of America is just as weak as ever. And this is your last ditch effort to try to show some type of solidarity and strength and numbers and stuff like that. You're weak. No one cares. So you would recruit a few weak minded Caucasian males or women that would join your so called weak movement because you know your numbers are really low. That's why you're changing the abortion laws, and because you need to have babies. You were too busy, your folks are too busy chasing their dreams and political careers and money to even think about having a family. When they do have a family, they have them late, and then there's a whole other issue to get into as far as long-term effects of that. But say what you want, we have the numbers. You know what I mean? We not we believe in that. Say what you want. Don't get mad at the Latinos because they have the numbers. They believe in, you know, unity and family oriented activities. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a few bad people in every demographic, but at the same time, you want to focus on that, of course, but let's focus on the other positive things that's happening in a variety of communities in America. You know what I mean? So, case in point, President Putin can approve of a bombing of the capital city in Ukraine, killing, I think the count that I saw this morning was 27 people, whether they were civilians or whatever, but the collateral damage of 27 people being killed before dawn as you wake up because of this senseless war for power in Ukraine. And then we have the senseless war with Iran. And then you have Israel in their continuation of land grabbing and genocide. Let's just call it what it is. And they look at us as black fatigue. We're the least of your problems right now. You know what I mean? Because you need an enemy. That's a historical fact. You need an enemy. You need someone to take the blame of your failed efforts to supply your citizens with real, impactful help, because you got too many people running around stuffing the money in their coffers. So it is what it is. Someone has to, speak what's on their mind. Now, maybe I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure you always follow the money. And us as citizens of the United States of America who pay taxes, we watching our dollars just go up in smoke, literally, with bombs and destruction and, whatever they decide that they want to show aggression to, or and blame and use it as a defense measure. We should be concerned because we're giving these people free money. And President Trump, last time I checked, has made, in his first term, he made $2 billion in his first term, first year in office. And I already told you that his family has made an enormous amount of money since he's been back in office. So he's doing things for businessmen as usual, like we said. He's putting them in a position where they can make money, and then he puts himself in a position where he has influence over them and when they make their decisions. And he gets, obviously he's getting a good back end as far as money wise. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's crazy. Because people are just, like I said, they talk a good game. They talk and they be in their local, restaurants, establishments, and so forth, lounges or whatever. Water coolers, the proverbial water cooler conversation. And at the end of the day, nothing's being done. And then the people that's always on camera, you see all the leadership always on camera, always in front of the cameras, always leading the charge, always shinning and grinning. You know what I'm saying? And they be the main ones selling you out, selling their constituents out. They're taking the money. They're getting all this PAC money. And they're not going to go against the people that's giving the money. Come on, that doesn't make any sense. They're puppets. They're people. They're voice boxes. You know what I mean? They're supporting things that they came up in politics, totally against. But yet they're controlled. And they're on TV every day, shining and grinning, always at the forefront, always giving the press conferences, always talking this, talking that. But when you look at their record and you see, what they support and what they've been, endorsing, it's nothing that their constituents is benefiting, off of. Their constituents, the people in their community is not benefiting off these moves that they're backing. Because they've been bought. They've been bought and they're controlled. You know what I'm saying? They're not brave enough. Once they get a taste of that power and once they get a taste of those, they get in those rooms, the political rooms, and meet these movers and shakers and hognob up to the real people with power structure in this country and throughout the world, they think they're on a different level. They forget about you. They forget about the person on apartment C or apartment 201 in the Bronx or in New Jersey. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so these are the people that are always, like I said, they got the $1 million smiles. They got the smoothness. They try to have these Obama mannerisms and stuff like that. And, at the end of the day, it's just a con game. Real talk.